What's up, Champions fam? It's the bad guy, a WWE Champion, Zeke 410, back with a brand new video. I aim to make this short, sweet, and brief, but if it goes over, so be it. We got a brand new Bloodline Takeover Victory Tour to conquer on Hell Mode for none other than the Samoan Werewolf himself, modern era acrobat Jacob Fatu, the new Bloodline. We got him fully recruited. We have him up to 6-star bronze for now. Once we get the Shards, you already know he's going above and beyond, over the moon, 10 times over. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Now, we do have some strap selections for him, and that affiliation strap would make sense because he is a tri-ability trainer and coach. So that would be a nice look. But I am holding off. Because I would love to either get a, if the scope gods would bless me, either with 100% gem damage strap or 100% gem defense strap. That would be real dope. That would be awesome for me personally. That's just me though. You know what I mean? Obviously Fury 2s with the 100% gem damage strap, or going all in on the armor medals and the gem defense. One way or the other, we would be concocting some true debauchery, but we're going to go with no strap. And no problem, because this is the build that I'm running with him. This is the build that I'm preferring to run right now, and it's worked. It has yet to fail me. It helped me clear out Showdown without a problem, okay? We got the Samoan Splash. This is a 1 MP move, y'all. Dealing damage and making random gems into 2-turn countdown gems. That will deal damage and make gems into reds. Then, that's at the end of the turn, of course. Then we have the Rikishi Driver. Another 1 MP move, dealing damage and decreasing the damage of all your opponent's gems by 71%. Hence why, you know, the gem defense strap and the armor medals, the armor build would be a crazy, insane in the membrane look right here, because it no one's kicking out. That's basically the point of it. And then last but not least, we got the rock bottom. Now I want to put this out there too. I'm going to read off this ability. It's basically dealing damage and it decreases the countdown gem timer by 2. And if your opponent is a showboat, you are going to, why did I say that? Showboat. If your opponent is a showboat, deal damage and increase your red gem damage by 183% for 1 turn. So yeah, putting people in the dirt. Now, I do find this interesting here. The Rikishi Driver makes sense. That does make sense, okay? The Samoan Splash is just a move that all Samoans run and do. It's just a given trait, right? But then we got the rock bottom. Are they hinting at that the real tribal chief of the new bloodline is the Rock? I just want to put that out there, y'all. Some might call it a Uranagi. Others might call it something different. But I do find that fascinating that he does utilize the rock bottom. And there's been this whole thing where Roman is the tribal chief, but obviously he was the head of the table. But realistically, if you go about it all the way around, the Rock himself would basically be the head of the table all the way around, because he's the most famous out of the Samoan wrestling family. And then it will be followed by Roman Reigns. So I'm thinking maybe they're telling us a little bit of the story without showing us the story yet. That maybe even when Solo fails, maybe Jacob Fatu and the Tongans and stuff, they roll with the Rock. And then who knows where the story can go right there. But nonetheless, because we got plus 99 MP, we're going to get into this gameplay. I'm sorry I'm talking too much. This is what we got here. We got Honky Tonk Man, legend. This guy's ability has stood the test of time. He is still very, very, very viable and valuable. And just to think, there could come a time where someone's going to come out and they might be doing 50% less gem damage, or let alone 100 or 150 or even 200, because of what we've seen with these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle abilities out there. There could be someone that comes out later that is in an even bigger increase of receiving less percentile damage from any color gems. But for right now, we're going to rock and roll with the 30% less damage from any color gem. And then we're just stacking red gem damage. We got Nikki Ash, almost a superhero, 12k flat rate gem damage alongside Tech Stacy Keebler, 12k flat red gem damage. And then we got Zombie Damian Priest on here, who is giving us a 30% boost to our red gems. And of course, if he did use blast gems, we would obviously be in good cohorts right here. But nonetheless, this is what we're running. It isn't going to take long to take everybody down, because if his move damage and everything doesn't take him out, the gem damage, it's over. And if they even were able to survive or have a little bit of health left, then obviously they're going to be gone. So we're going to go ahead and rock and roll with this. And as you can see right here, it's already over. It's already over. Like, we don't even have to hit the moves. Like, this is how it is, because you can cheese anything and everything. Nonetheless, though, Jacob is a beast. I'm still upset that I did not have enough shards laying around to get him up to 6-star gold. But I know that I have the tokens. I know that I have the TP. There isn't anyone else that I'm really trying to work on at the moment. So we're going to be able to stock resources in the meantime. So I'm grateful for that. And I love this character. I love him to death. It's so exciting when you get a character that you want and need in your account, because he's a game changer. He's a character that I wanted, but I also needed, because I needed my acrobats to be represented. And this guy is dangerous. Like, I don't have the moment. Sadly, I probably will miss out on the moment. And he's able to level 6-star golds. He has literally clapped up 6-star golds with this build, and I am grateful for that. Now we're just waiting for this to load up. Like, come on now. Where are you at? There we go. There we go. There we go. Great champion. Versatile ability. Shout out to my broski Dirty. I talked to him. That is different. Never didn't expect that. I talked to my boy Dirty on Discord, and he's like he got Muda, and he also has Jacob, and he was saying, like, he made some good points about Muda. Like, Muda is a monster, and now that we got these new skill plates out for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he's even more of a beast. Merrick's has showcased him. Professor G Gaming showcased it. Muda is a problem. But basically what he was saying is that literally, when it comes to Jacob can be nerfed in a couple of different ways. And I can understand that. With the multiplied gems, that's always attack. Muda is similar to Tech Charlotte, because he's just ripping out pure gem damage. And I give him that. That is a valuable point. And that you can't really nerf it unless we're now dealing with these steel cage match rules. That's an interesting thing. Now, for some people out there, I'm going to make this crystal clear to y'all, okay? Just so y'all understand. When it comes to these steel cage moves, these steel cage rules, okay? Basically, it's literally stripping the game back down to what it was when it initially released. You got to think, I've been playing since day one, or in that area of when the game started, right? And back in the day, there weren't straps. There weren't ultimate plates. There weren't skill plates. There weren't props. There weren't trainers and coaches and promoters. It was literally you matching gems, hoping to get your moves off, hoping that you're dealing enough damage, and you're calling it a day. There was no autoplay. And I'm a fan of this because I've spoken on this in the past, and you can check my catalog. I've gone back in the back and check out my early day content of gameplay. I did the gameplay videos where I didn't use those things. Those were challenge videos for me. No trainers, no problem. No MP boost, no problem. No strap, no problem. I did these things for fun. So, like, for this to now be happening now, it's fun to me, because if you've been playing around long enough, then yeah, you remember those dark times, but they were exciting times, and that's the blessing of it. That's like, to see it come full circle now. Some players who are playing and they played later on, and then like they got the advantages, they're like, they might be panicking, but look, it's not the end of the world. Now, I will admit this. It can throw you off a little bit because they're covering everything. Nah, you can't use props. Nah, your skill plates are gone. Nah, your trainer, your entourage ability won't affect you. Nah, you like using a guy who or wife who likes to use purple gems? Well, tough. Purple gems have been nerfed by 50%. Oh, you like using someone who likes to use red gems? Tough. They've been nerfed by 50%. Your move damage has been nerfed. This makes things a lot more interesting. It does. Now, I will admit, too, it could throw you off when you go in to do a tour and you realize, wait a minute, I didn't pay attention to the big shiny button. What's going on here? I don't understand. But look, it makes it interesting. It makes you utilize people you might not expect. And on top of that, they are kind of fair with it. Like, for instance, I've seen my broski Festa Bombs dropped a video on how he uses Kama to clear out everything on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tour. Seen the thing with Merrick showing how to use it. So characters that you might not have used beforehand for something are now getting love and getting light shined on them for all the right reasons, because where they wouldn't matter to you in normal gameplay, now they're getting a moment to shine in the steel cage matches. Just like certain characters you wouldn't use in your normal content clearing, you're using them for Gem Mania. It's the same thing. You're utilizing your roster for different things. And he is knocked out. Yep, it's done. It's over. But literally, it's super fun. I like the idea and the concept for it. And I got it also. Shout out to my boy Domo. Domo, you've been rocking with me since the back in the day car vids. And it was only right that I did a video in my car while I'm making this video with Jacob Fatu. But I do agree with what he said in one of my previous content, that my Talent Up video, I believe. He said, hey, I understand the concept of the shards thing, but I enjoy it because if you didn't have the shards implemented in these evolutions, you'd have a whole bunch of people having 6-star golds. Now, I agree. I absolutely agree. They're basically the shards implement a check and balances in the game, because not everyone should be running around with a whole bunch of 6-star goals. I understand and respect that completely. I just also understand that it can be, as much as it can help balance the game, it can also unbalance the game. You know what I mean? But I also get what he's saying too. There had to be something else with how they've been handing out tokens left and right. They've been handing them out like popsicles, you know. And I get it, and I understand it, and I love what he brought to my attention. I just feel like, I personally believe that both systems could work. I just love, there's certain buff, but for me, in that moment, I was highly upset because I really wanted to take him 6-star gold, and I knew if the shard system wasn't there, Jacob would have been 6-star gold, no questions asked. But now it's the thing of, I got him, I got everything to take him up, but sadly, I can't take him up. But I also respect what he brought to light, and I appreciate him breaking that down and bringing that to the forefront. It does keep things fair in a sense, because you already know that the top factions are going to have droves of members and players that have tons of 6-star goals. You can look at the broski Sir Zoro and you already can tell, like, bro's sitting on tons of 6-star goals. And then there's other people who are picking and choosing who to make 6-star goals. So I get it, and I understand that completely. And obviously, when you got the big spenders out there, or the people that grind the hardest, they're going to reap the rewards. And that's just a part of the game. That's just what it is, and I understand it, and so I'm not upset about it. But it's one of those things. I understand what they're doing, but nonetheless, makes me kind of feel some type of way. Now, with both of these tours, you see that I've cleared them out with a flawless victory. Now, for the first tour, the Nation of Ninjas, I just used my boy, Nation of Domination Rock. Rock cleared everybody out. But the thing was, you got it tells you right here. You go into these matches, you check it out, you see what's going on. Enhance and equip these to escape with victory. So they're letting you know what can help out. Your entourage is allowed. So your entourage can get you through this. You need people. My good faction fam. My good champions fam. The blog literally tells you everything that you need to know. And then there's official content creators from Scopely that informed all of us on what to do. When you play a game, do your research. So then you're not stuck asking rhetorical questions. These steel cage rules are going to be utilized not only in tours, they're being utilized in Showdown, and they are going to be utilized in this upcoming Flash Feud conclusion to the Bloodline Takeover MLE month-long event. You need to check these tabs that they have available so you know what's going on. Because in this store, it's telling you right now, your perks, your pros are going to be your entourage and your perks. If you got maxed out tour perks from the MLE, you're good. You got maxed out overall for talent for your entourages. MP, gem generation, gem destruction, move damage, gem damage, so on and so forth. Promoters, you are good. But these things can't be used. Your straps, your skill plates, your moments, your gear, and your props. Now, again, this is literally something that is cool with me because I remember there was a time in this game where we didn't have straps. I remember a time where we played the game, we didn't have moments. And there was a time where we didn't even have gear. So this is nothing to me. I just feel well at home. This is taking me back to the early days of the game. But some people, because everyone's built different, I acknowledge what a great strap setup and what with double fury, double takedown, double armor can do for you. I acknowledge what an amazing top-notch moment can do for you. I can even understand the importance of certain gears on certain characters. I understand that. And you know me, when I do my Helmo runs, I really do my best not to use a prop. But that being said, though, these are the rules for this steel cage thing. So then all this does is have you do a self-check. How far up did I work up my MLE perks? How high in talent are my entourage characters that my go-tos can utilize to get me through this? That's all it is. That's all it is. You got many great trainers and coaches out there that can supplement and substitute your strap, your skill plate, your moments, and your gear. It gets you creative. That's all it is. Don't go blind into it. So again, we're going to do this right now. It says, okay, we go into the mat. Let's do baby steps here. Okay. We're going to go in here. You see underneath the word hell in the top left corner, we got a glowing icon. What is that? Let's touch it. Now this one, enhance and equip these to escape victory. Your straps, your skill plates, and your MLE perk will get you through this. So now, if you have a gem match, gem break, or I got a certain type of move set and it gets a buff after the submission, or a certain color type move buff, or specialty gem buff, that's going to help me out here with my skill plates. 100% gem damage strap that can be used on husbandos or waifus. That might come in handy. And of course, you got to work on your perks. But then the things that stay out of the cage this time, your trainers don't matter. So literally what they're saying is you can go in bare naked, not have nobody equipped. So you don't got to worry about using coins. You know, you might as well just get rid of those. Or you keep them on there, but their abilities are not going to work, y'all. That's literally all it's saying. It's not saying it's stripping you of your trainers and your coaches. Their abilities are null and void in this mode. So where in the first tour, yes to your entourage abilities. Yes to your perks. But no to everything else. This tour, it's saying screw the entourage ability, screw the moment, screw the gear, screw the props. But you can keep your perk, you can keep your skill plate, and you can keep your straps. That's all it's doing. It's targeting different things for you. So whenever you go in here, touch the icon, and it'll help you. And even in the Showdown, the Showdown has it again. So you go in here and look right next to your refresh tab. It's going to let you know the rules. You tap it and it's letting you know what's going on. You're getting different buffs here. So right here, it's telling you color turn gems get 1,000% buff. Blast gems are hitting for 500% more. Power gems are hitting for 500% more. Color moves are hitting for 200% more. But then we got this decrease. Purple gems and green gems, 50%, minus 50%. And then it's letting you know right here. Obviously, here's another thing. Here's the power. Your straps will work. Your gear will work. Your moments will work. Your perks, your showdown perks will work. But then your entourage and your skill plate don't matter. So again, you can still go in with a 100% gem strap. Gem damage, gem defense, up to you. If you got a solid showdown moment, like the Judgment Day, they have a great showdown moment. Or if you have a universal moment, like the Summer Champions 1 or 2, or the Bloodline, the Bloodline situation, or even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can use that moment. And of course, your gear can help you out too. So they're going to vary. They will vary. And I'm not too sure, honestly. Let's go to the Flash Feud because the feud is up. The feud is right here. Samoan and Savage. So look, they're letting you know. Leech gems, 100% more, 1,000% more damage. Trap gems, 500% more damage. Botch gems, 500% more damage. And then the con, you can't use skill plates. But you are allotted your entourage, your strap medals, your moments, your perks, your gear, and your props. So this is what they're going to be doing. And if I recall correctly, they did say they will rotate it. So it might be like this for this one, but then the second Flash Feud, they might say no entourage. They might say no perks. They might say no strapping medals, no gear, no props. So you just got to keep an eye on it. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I went into one blind. I'm like, well, that didn't work. And then I go into the next one. Like, for instance, let me show you real quick. Let's go in here once again. And then I'll be out of your hair. I'll be done. I went into this one. Nation of Ninjas. I used Tech Rock. I use Tech Rock for everything. And even then, right here, they have the icon right there to let you know what what you can use. So you hop right in before you even get into the match. You can tap the icon right there and it tells you everything, okay? And then you just hit OK to exit out. For Nation of Ninjas, I use Tech Rock Nation of Domination. For the second one, for the Crime Fighting Champions, I use Tech Gunther. I used Tech Gunther and was able to mollywop everybody. Literally, mollywopped everyone. It didn't matter that they had a turn one sub or not. Placing his Juggernaut gems down basically allowed me to get back out. And plus, because I had the Aftershock skill plate and it allows me to use my skill plate and my medals, I was able to load up my reds by matching a green match. So there are ways around here. It's, again, you just got to figure out how you play with people, how you use them, and you keep it rocking and rolling. But nonetheless, steel cage rules. I'm digging it. I'm liking it. It's just something where now having a big roster is going to show improve a lot. And even if you have a small roster, if you invest in the right people, you will go the distance. It's literally a thing where it's basically a game mode where it's testing your mettle. And I swear, I don't swear. That's not right. I would love to see them do a tower mode like this. I would love to see them do a ladder mode like this. Like, if we're getting the steel cage rules, I would love to see something like a ladder or a tower mode of going through it and utilizing these steel cage moves. Like, you got to survive one thing without using your perks. You got to survive another one without a strap or your skill plate. You got to survive another one without your entourage. No props throughout stages 1 through 10, something like that. That would be amazing. And you just roll with a crew of people, a crew of champions, like one representative of each class, maybe have a representative of each era or subcategory, and then have some substitutes, like some backups to put in. And like if you lose, either they're knocked out completely or there's a cooldown period. You got to win a certain amount of matches for that person to come back into the game. And even if they come into the game, maybe their health's a little down. There's so much potential here. And this is why I love WWE champions, because they find ways to improve on what they have. And I see why people play this game, why I've stuck with it for so long, because the possibilities are endless here. And to see the OG Gear Son reveal this to us and then for it to go live like literally a week later, I'm happy. But nonetheless, y'all, that is the video. I'm grateful to God that I got to show this with you and rock it out with you. And again, use the icons. The icons are going to show you whether it's a tour, whether it's Showdown, whether it's Feud. They can even implement these steel cage rules for blitzes as well. They're all game modes could be like that. And also think about this too. Just like we had survival mode for a little bit, survival mode matches are still a thing. There's a possibility that we could get a new book of tours that's like the WrestleMania book of tours, and it's nothing but steel cage matches. But if you're going to put these kind of situations on us where like we're going to have to utilize different situations and setups and pros and cons, there better be great rewards that come with that. And if they haven't thought that up, if you're watching Scopely, that is a great idea. I think people would go all in to work on their rosters, to improve on the rosters, pull for characters that they need to utilize so they can get through a tour that's nothing but steel cage rules. And they can fluctuate. It's like, okay, you can use any, but like for one of the tours, you can use whoever you want. We're not going to stop you from that. But you can't use that go-to entourage, buddy. I knew what you were going to do. I see what you want to do there, baby. I see you want to run Leonardo Seth Rollins with Sensational Sherry. And of course, them low charge moves right there. Of course, you could throw Showboat Matt and Mem Rock in there, or maybe Zombie Gunther, but guess what? Nah. They're not allowed in this match, buddy. Oh, you were going to run some Power Gem people? You got Undertaker and Kofi on them? Nah, that ain't going to fly this time, buckaroo. That would be amazing. And you know what they just did? I just realized this too. They literally just made a way for them to make even more money, y'all. Because now you can create champions that could literally dominate steel cage moves, steel cage matches. The same way you got characters out there that are 2-click, 1-click for feuds and boss battle and even showdowns and gauntlet blitzes, you can now create characters that will dominate within the rules and the parameters of steel cage. They're built different. They don't need it. They don't like, they'll, this is where I love the cultivation of character in game, because there's so much now that you can do within the game now, because you have characters that were always made. Like back in the day, you had Enzo Amore. He was the Blitz god. He was being used by so many people in the community. They stopped making him available. You had to use someone different. You know what I mean? Then you have your faction, your faction boss killers. You know what I mean? You got to multiply in a red gem, throw Vader in there. You got purple gems that need to be spammed out there. Use Julius Creed or Great Muta. You need yellow boards to be flooded. Use Final Boss Rock or even The Miz. Even showdowns, like for a minute, the Bushwhackers were destroying people. Now the new bloodline of ability in the moment makes it different. They create new metas within the meta, and it creates new characters that can be utilized. So, you know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm excited to see where it goes. Because again, you can upgrade it, you can update it. And I would love to see them do that. You got steel cage rules in here, throw ladders in there. Throw in a TLC type of gameplay out there. Do a Hell in a Cell match. There is so much potential here, and I am excited not only for what the good old folks at Scopely have up their sleeve, but I'm excited for all of y'all too, because I want to see the community chop it up. I want to see the community coming up with strategies to get through these tours, to get through these showdowns, these blitzes, these faction bosses, because all these game modes, feuds, showdowns, blitzes, faction bosses, whatever's to come, you can apply steel cage rules to it. And if you're going to apply them, well, then just make the rewards more exciting. If you're going to switch it up and it's not going to be a normal, what we usually do, improve the rewards. So when people are getting frustrated, it's like, but wait a minute, they're giving us a couple extra 6-star gold token cases. Or wait a minute, if we get all the way to the end of this Flash feud, we're getting like maybe 100, 300 million coins. Might not seem a lot to some people, but when that accumulates over time, or maybe they have it set up where it's different, like, hey, you got less milestones, but the rewards are greater, but you got to put in the work. You got to grind it out more. You got to grind it out. So there's a lot of ways they can go about this. I'm just excited and I'm hyped. Again, this was supposed to be short, sweet, and brief, but you just see what's going down. Jacob Fatu is a problem. God tier unit in itself. Shout out to my broski Domo breaking down the whole Shards situation. I agree. It brings checks and balances to the game, so not everyone's sitting around with tons and tons of 6-star goals on their roster, unless, of course, they're in the higher echelon. It makes sense. And shout out to my boy Dirty breaking it down like, hey, Jacob Fatu's great. Muda's great, but it all comes down to preference and who you have, who you were able to recruit, and who you prefer. So I'm thankful for all that. And again, when it comes to the showdowns, just remember, like for all these, for Boss Battle 2, just so I can show y'all one more time, okay? You go into these matches, even beforehand, it shows you right here. So what am I doing? You literally have the icon right on the tour. You tap it, it lets you know, okay, this includes steel cage matches. So that lets you know that before you even hop into the match or into the tour, you know what's going on, right? And then each tour lets you know what's going down with them, what are your pros, what are your cons, okay? The same thing. Things are different. And then even with the showdown here, it lets you know that it has the icon above your stamina. It lets you know what's going on in here. And right here, you see it. There you go. Boom. So you have that right there. So touch that icon that looks like we're dealing with the stock market, and you'll be good to go. And even with the feuds, they have it right next to your timer, biggest day, to let you know the pros and the cons of what you're doing. So let's rock and roll. I understand that some people are upset, but, just take the time, study up, educate yourself, get familiar, grind these tours out, run these tours, run this showdown, get yourself familiar with how these things are going to be, how these mechanics are going to roll. It's new, it's unfamiliar, it gets people uncomfortable. But when you're uncomfortable, you have the opportunity and the space to grow. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, so you are always on your P's and Q's. But nonetheless, that is the video, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for bearing with me for this amount of time. Didn't expect it to be as long as it is, but I'm always grateful to do content for each and every single one of y'all. So you already know how it goes. Hey, yo, hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love and respect to each and every single one of you, my beloved champions fam. Like the video, share the video, but most importantly of all, you don't have to, but if you're really rocking with me, I do appreciate it if you would just go ahead and be so kind to drop a people's elbow on the subscribe button, as well as hit a razor's edge on the bell icon to receive all future notifications from yours truly, the one and only bad guy, your WWE champion, Zeke 4-0, the most electrifying content creator in WWE Champions Entertainment. I love you all. I respect you all. I'm praying for you all tenfold. Let the good times roll. Again, let's chop it up in the comments below. I love talking to y'all. I love just soaking in the love that you give me, the support, but I also love getting your thoughts and your opinions on these things. Shout out to everyone who's gotten Jacob. Shout out to everyone who's gotten Tamatanga. Shout out to everyone who's gotten Solo Sequoia. Shout out to David D. David boy. And aside from that, let me know your thoughts about this steel cage. Let me know your thoughts about your moves on the talent up. I want to know your thoughts. In the video description below are the links to my talent up and my recruitment of Jacob Fatu. That is a thing. And let me just know what your thoughts are overall about everything. I love y'all all so much. I want y'all to win. I want y'all to thrive. I'm sorry that I'm not dropping video content as consistently as I was before. Again, when I'm on night shift, it depends on how I'm feeling, how the night goes. If I got the energy, I'll make it happen. And more than likely, either I'll be able to drop it the day of, or you're getting it the morning the morning of the next day. But nonetheless, I'm grateful for all of you, and I appreciate y'all. Let me know your thoughts on the steel cage matches so far. I'm really loving it. I love the challenges. I love the handicaps. Really get you using like your big brain IQ in game. And you know what? Again, remember this. Just because they block out your strap, just because they say you can't use straps, you can't use medals, can't use trainers, does not mean you got to go and strip down your champion. All it's saying is, okay, you can have these things equipped on them, but their abilities and their buffs are null and void. That's literally all it means. That's literally all it's saying when it comes to that. Your moments, your gear, your straps, your medals, your skill plates, maybe even your perks sometimes, they're just going to be your props. They're going to be null and void. But that doesn't take them away. It doesn't mean you got to go ahead and strip them off, strip your entourage down or nothing and put them back on or anything like that. It literally just means you can go in fully loaded, promoter, trainers and coaches and all, skill plate, ultimate plate, 100% strap, and it's just null and void for those matches. So don't get upset. It's okay. You're fine. It's just going to be when you go into a normal tour, they'll be accessible. When you're in the steel cage, it doesn't matter. That's basically all it is. So until next time, y'all, God bless. Appreciate y'all. Let's chop it up in the comments below. Stay tuned until next time, y'all. Peace.